Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode on Spliff Talk. So, as you noticed, I haven't done. What the hell? Why did I have to burp out of nowhere? Nah. Thought I had some water. I haven't finished the Kevin Samuels parts because I took a break, but we're gonna get right back to it today. Part 6. We're gonna react to it, see what part 6 is about. My apologies for taking so long, but let's get to it. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. Dun, 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 dun. I love that song. All right, let's see what you got for us today, Kevin Samuels. Let's see what you got.
Gotta pick. You gotta go mom or dad. There is no. The coin. Hold on. The coin cannot stay like this. A decision has to be made.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life.
That's a good intro song.
Do you go to the mother's direction or to the father's direction?
Yeah,
I mean, society says it's always goes to the mother. Society.
And that is why. And that is why you look at the data, the facts. Mother's intuition is to nurture. Father's is to discipline and instruct. This is why we are in such chaos right now, because your nature is to soothe. Ours is to make sure that you can survive. And without hierarchy, you cannot have co-CEOs or co-presidents.
so
I don't know.
that
I
man
feel like
is the president.
The man is the head.
I feel like
yes.
nowadays it could be either one.
And if you aren't picking a man that you respect enough, that's not the man's
I feel
problem.
like respecting and being told what to do.
See, it's only told what to do. See, I want you. Hold on.
That's what I'm asking.
She has the wrong perspective.
Okay, this has
I know
nothing.
that's not what you're saying. I'm asking the difference in between what I was trying to ask was like, I understand compromising that there has to be a lead. Like I know the man takes, he leads, he provides.
I got all that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was asking that sometimes it falls in between the line where men don't know how to like have a partnership or compromise, to where it just becomes an ownership.
That's
That's
a
your
man
choice
you
in
picked.
man. You don't get that?
That's not the general.
That's not.
But I like what you said about
I'm not saying it's
But-
general.
okay.
the president taking consideration with
You take
the
okay.
vice president.
The way this is what I call the color purpling of the United States, or the way they take stuff. The stuff you saw in the color purple was not the black community. It was not us. And you go back and look on the microfiche and all the researchers that they still did not have any idea of the impact it's going to have. At the end of the day, a decision has to be made. And whether you agree or not,
I mean, they said it
all this
themselves.
is
Men
philosophical.
lead.
In that very situation, if there's a bump in the night or an intruder comes through the door, who has to stand up? I got to be willing to die for you. All you got to do is listen to me. And that's my child too. Why am I going to do something for my child that's going to put my child, just like you can't pull, that's why I say you can't pull rank. See, you got to understand your instinct is to distrust a man. Your instinct is a low level of respect, and a low level of a lack of respect and contempt for men, to where you don't trust us. That's real. That ain't got nothing to do with, so any question you have is going to be based around your lack of respect and contempt for men, not on what men do. Would you not, is that not fair?
No, it is because I've
So any scenario where you ask me, what about a man? It's not a good faith scenario. It's always going to be loaded with, I don't have any respect and I have some contempt for him. It's not it's not neutral. It's not fair. And that's, unfortunately, that's been kind of baked into our culture, to where we have not had or seen good depictions of black men in the media. We don't hear the world saying good things about black men. That's where I think black men have to take ownership of our own depiction in the media.
That's true.
That's why I'm such a big
Even in
on
movies.
black men taking their image back, but it also has to become incumbent upon the women to actually, you have to start looking at the men past the men you deal with. Mm-hmm. Every man ain't out to do something to you and da-da-da-da-da. And at the end of the day, that you have to be accountable, just like I gotta be accountable. Because what if I said, you know what, I've been divorced and this and that, so should I treat you that way?
No, I feel like every person's based, like all they can do is be based off of their experiences and environments. I'm not saying judge people based off of just what you've been through, because that's not fair. Because not everybody's the same. But I think I've said it earlier, like I'm always gonna answer.
Any input on what you just heard me say about the contempt and lack of respect?
Yeah, I feel like that was a lot of, like that was biased, but like here you were saying it's biased questions based off your experience. So you can't generalize and ask a question outside of your own experience. Back
in the 60s, you familiar with Cosmopolitan magazine? Cosmopolitan magazine was actually supposed to be Playboy for young women. And this lifestyle was marketed to women. And there's a book called Subverted, how they actually marketed this Sex and the City lifestyle to women to actually sell products. Now they did it to all women, but in our community, it had a different effect. People make money off of us being separate. Because you talk about what you want to do. There are plenty of men who love anime. I've been to Shonen Jumps and this and that. There's loaded with people.
I like how he knows.
There's no
about
reason
anime.
we can't work together, but we can't if we don't trust each other. Mm-hmm. Where do you think this lack of trust came from?
I think it came from media, like watching like growing up and seeing like how things are on the TV or reality TV, just social media and stuff like that.
Where do you think it came from?
Why we can't work together?
You know, just general ideas about, you know, distrusting or having like one eye raised regarding men. Let me ask you another question. How many relationships would you say you've had, like boyfriend level?
3.
Okay.
Solid.
3 solid. The 3 relationships, how many did you walk away from? You ended it or they ended it?
I ended
2. And how long was the 3rd one? Okay. So, all right. So, how about you? How many relationships have you had?
I've had about 3, and I walked away from all of them.
1.
Did you walk away or did he walk away?
It's a situationship right now.
Okay.
So neither I walk away, and then I come back, and then he walks away, and then he comes back.
But you hear women that say they want a man that's loyal, and this and that, and a man who they can trust, and the man's gonna stay. But y'all walk away more than we do. But it's the popular narrative that you can't trust men. And did all of you go to college? Did you go to college? Whether you graduated or not, it's irrelevant. Did you go?
Graduated.
Okay. Did you go to a predominantly white institution? Did you notice that freshman and sophomore year, everybody was doing what they want to, but around junior and senior year, all the non-black women start coupling up. They start getting married. And all the black women start breaking up. It's baked into our culture for y'all to go out and be your own independent, don't need no man, so on and so forth. But like during this pandemic, the wealth has increased so much because people are staying together. Now, I'm not a big fan of state-sponsored marriage either because of the numbers, but it has its benefits. We have to be able to work with one another is ultimately what it gets right down to. Because you want to live a nice life. You want to live a nice life. You want to live a nice life. Whether you want cats or not is irrelevant, but we're better off when we have people. That's all I'm ultimately trying to get people to think about, women to think about, not going to be barefoot and pregnant, because that's never really existed in our community.
Peace, and you are right. Women do walk away more because we are pickier and we are hard to please, and all a man wants is peace. So it is harder for a man to live up to a woman's standards than vice versa.
Well, do you think it's been made? I think it's been made easier for women to walk away because you think the pool of men is deeper than it is. There are women who are 38 years old with 3 kids.
True. Too many women.
And they're surprised that they can't just go out and
Every year.
So when I talk a lot about numbers,
Less men,
it's not to
more
play
women.
gotcha. It's to say no.
The pool's
Hey,
smaller.
there are only a certain amount of men out there like this. So, and that's any kind of man. So,
My situation is how it is. I understand that. So it's harder to want to walk away from the partner that you've had this time with, that you've been developing this connection, this compromise, and setting like intentions with, to let go of all of that when you've been building so much with that person and be like, I'm gonna go find someone else to build with. It's not that easy.
Yeah, a lot of people
it's
are
not that
saying
easy if you actually
situationships.
understand that.
Yeah,
It's definitely not that easy, because you could go meet someone and sure, in the beginning it's all cool, but then as you start learning, they don't want all the same things.
well, is that and how
you're
it
supposed to
used
find
to
out
work
early.
is like dating is dumb. Dating doesn't work if you think about it.
No,
You think about
it doesn't work.
What is dating?
dating has the purpose of dating is to do what?
To get married.
Meet people, see if you're compatible with them, and if you want to move forward.
And how's that working for most people?
I don't see
I
the
think the
issue.
reason it doesn't work
They
is
never
people
move
don't know
forward.
how to date. That's
Because
why.
because dating is dumb. Okay, how it used to work. The men of your family, a man would have to announce he had intention to I have need of a wife, I'm looking for a woman, da da da. He'd have to step to the men of your family. And men know how to look for bullshit in other men. We know how to judge other men. Let women run their logic through their emotions. That's just how you're set up. Even the most strategic still put their emotion in there. Because so men would have to step to the men, and men would evaluate, and then he'd say, all right, you can court my daughter, and you have a prescribed period of time to get to know one another. But there's no 3-4 dates, there's no premarital sex, there's none of all that other stuff. And eventually you gotta make your intentions. What are your intentions for my daughter? Oh, I want to marry. Okay, great. You gotta make her an honest woman. Then you go on, you get married, you go on to get married, then you do all of this stuff. Where's the romance? Where's the love and all that? Where's all the stuff that we're supposed to be doing in dating that happens in that? And that's happened for thousands of years, and it's worked. In the 1940s is when dating came along to sell us De Beers diamonds and greeting cards in the American dream. The notion that you can pick. So now what's happened? Women, whether you like it or not, you're in charge of vetting. And it doesn't seem to, most women don't seem to pick the kind of men that's compatible for them. Most women seem to pick what they like, and then the pattern tends to be after you've had enough damage, then you finally pick the guy that's out of your friend zone, or you pick the guy that's actually compatible with you, and then you learn to love that person. But it's not romantic. It's not Disney. It's not Hallmark. So dating doesn't work. Women today, dating has, what have we gotten to? We've gotten to the point to where you're online, swiping left, swiping right. People are having sex before they even go out on the first date. Because how many times have you sat back and heard, well, I need to know what that dick do before I commit my time to him.
I don't hear that.
You've never heard that? Shit. Thank you. You need to pay. Well, you just heard it. Women are like, I don't want to waste my time.
Men say it too.
Exactly. So
I hear more men say it.
well,
There's some
and a
women who are
woman's
stigmatized
value
who are with a
proposition
guy
to
just
a man
because
is
of his
what?
dick game.
Her looks, her femininity, her womb, and with a womb, body count. So looks, you guys are all fit, but you know, outside of Miami, 80% in our community is overweight, and 80% of that is obese. That's the fitness. Today, women are having sex and picking men. Women will leave men based upon sex more than men will leave women. And you're having women have children before and then expecting to get married afterwards. So now if you're in a certain category of men, which I am in, you can have access to all the beautiful women and have as much relationship, as much sex as you want, and have y'all compete for it. It's not working for y'all. Because the demand has been pushed to the top 10% of men. I'm in one of the top 10%. Works like gangbusters for me. But then women get upset about being part of the rotation and this and that. Why would I have to pick you if her, and Maria, Marisol, Mylene, and Jamila all want me to?
That is so true. I mean, like, there's been a dynamic shift in society because if you really think about it, if you've seen any of those old movies, medieval movies, even movies that were done in the 1800s, set in the 1800s, 1700s, it was all about courting women, right? And yes, in a lot of those times, women were forced into these marriages or coerced into these marriages out of power, family, loyalty, whatever the case may be, and women didn't have much choice. But now women have choice, and now they've taken it to the complete extreme where they think themselves like guys. They go based off looks, then they go based off dick game, they go based off money, you know, and at least when it comes to me, he is right. Cooperation, femininity. Those two things, believe it or not, have everything to do with your personality, right? For us to marry you, cooperation and femininity has to go with your looks, because even though we like you the way you look, we won't marry you unless your personality gives us cooperation and femininity, right? Which makes sense. Also, yeah, in some cases, I've known men to care about body count. I think that's a little bit unfair, because I don't think body count matters so long as it's so long as you have, if you are a reasonable person. I don't know. I mean, that's something that can be debatable from all sides, but I try to stay neutral in that topic. But yeah, women have taken choice to a far extreme where like everything is based off looks, money, what a man can provide, what he can do, how he can have sex with her. Whereas I find men looking more for personality, companionship. A lot of men have a lot of, at least the ones I've met, have a lot of abandonment issues, just like women have abandonment issues. But men look for women in a different way. Yeah, we go based off how you look, 100%. But I mean, that's kind of the point, because you girls love to feel beautiful. You love to feel like you're a princess. So isn't that don't you want to be with a guy who finds you beautiful? So therefore looks is a given. Like we have to love you for what you look. But women are built differently. In a lot of cases, women can love a man even if he's not the sexiest man out there. Because most of the time, the sexiest men, like, think about their psychology. Like, men who are naturally good looking naturally get a lot of girls nowadays. They get the crushes. I was always jealous of like all the pretty boys in my class because, you know, they would get the girls' attentions way faster. Those are the dudes that fuck up the first. They're the ones who break your hearts before y'all come to us. And that's crazy, you know, because you go based off look, and just because the way he looks, he must be nice or something like that. Like, you justify things with your emotions and your logic on why you should stay with that guy, whether it's because he knows how to have sex with you, or maybe he got money, or maybe like you don't know how to do shit, so you're afraid of leaving and having to do everything by yourself. You know, where guys, look how quickly we leave women. Like, if things don't work, like, we're done. Sometimes it's even harder. Like, men are most of the time the ones who keep coming back, who keep going back to women who are bad for them, who are toxic for them. Why is that? You know, yeah, I know women do that too, but women don't do it for the same reasons that men do it. A lot of times women stay in bad relationships and stay in them most of the time because of money, because of dick game, insecurities, whatever it is. But men, most of the time, believe it or not, when I have conversations with them, they go back to these girls because they're hoping that these girls will change or like, you know, mature, you know. And it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like, weren't girls the ones who were always trying to change men? But now men, you know, are the ones growing up hoping that women are gonna change. Like that's a switch in thought and relationships and stuff like that. And Kevin Samuel makes a very good point. You know, you can't really argue against them in this case because, you know, a lot of women do it to themselves, and you have to see that as I don't want it to come off as sexist, because I am definitely a feminist. I believe women should choose whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. But I just feel like a lot of you don't choose wisely. You guys don't really think about your choices. Everything is so surface, you know? I rarely ever meet a girl who's like down to earth and like not all about this materialistic shit and you know, everything about looks and the surface. Like, how do you already have sex with a guy and you don't even know his family? You don't even know, you know, and I get that it's kind of like old school mentality. Who knows? Like, all these things are very debatable, but in this case, when it comes to these women and what they wanted from the beginning of the video, part 1 to now, Kevin Samuels is making a valid point. If you want to get married and you have this ideal of wanting to be an upper class and you want all these specific things, there comes a certain realism with that choice, that specific choice. And that's something that you got to keep in mind. It's all about what you want, your intentions, your choice, the way you want to live your life. That's the perspective you got to look at it from. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you on the next one. I'll be reacting to part 7 soon. And yeah, leave a comment if you agree or disagree. If you have a question, whatever it is, let me know and I'll respond. All right. So peace out. Love you. Thank you. Deuces.